And we also have a special guest this morning, of which we have yet to see. Somebody I'd like to introduce y'all to. You may see more of them every now and then if I can convince them to pull up. And that is none other than the one and only Mrs. New Blerd Order. Hey, what's going on? It's Kim, my wife, that I married. What's going on? What's up, Yas? See, everybody don't got to get married on 420 like you, Yas. Nah, that's what's up, man. And of course, we get
to pick. So I just got lucky, you know.
Yeah. Nah, hey, and then I still got some of the parting gifts resounding somewhere in my brain. So that's all good, man. Yo, it's good to be here with y'all. I hope y'all had a good weekend, a week, and whatnot. But go ahead. I think that this is the question of the afternoon of the week. So I guess, do you want to know? Did we or did we not see Sinners? Did we? Yeah! We saw Sinners! We went, all right, so let me tell y'all the whole thing. So we went to this bougie ass theater that she liked to go to. The ones where they sit you in the in the seats that lean all the way back, but they try to take your order at the same time, which can backfire because let's keep it real, they not always quiet when they taking your order. And there was a lady who was sitting there like, so what was that, ma'am? Nachos? Okay, was it Supreme?
I might shut the hell up.
I'm sitting like she wasn't as bad as the last time I went to go see, I think Venom or something, which was a mistake. And while I was there, like the dude literally had no couth. He was like, "Yo, so you know that the fry is gonna take like 20 minutes." So when he came to me, I was like, he's like, "What can I get for you?" I was like, "Okay, you want the chips and dip?" You know what I'm saying? I can't get him to just like be quiet. So anyway, we sat and watched it back row. You know what I'm saying? It felt at one of them theaters that feel like IMAX. And I want to get Mrs. Kim. I want to know what you thought about it. All right, hey, be real now. You know what I'm saying? Tell her what you told me now.
Well, overall, I do think it was a masterpiece. I do. I think that it had a wonderful blend of horror, drama, comedy. The cinematography was beautiful. The music was perfect. I really enjoyed myself. I felt like I was immersed in the 1930s, which I love to feel just immersed in a film. So overall, it was great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that it?
Yeah. What else did I say that you're talking about?
I can say it.
Which part? Like, what do you mean? Like what?
All right, it's okay. I can say it. I ain't gonna talk.
You talking about the Asian thing?
No, not that part. No. He says, "I'm like, maybe didn't live up to the hype,
Oh, okay, yes. Did I leave there feeling like, oh my gosh, Wakanda forever? I love it. Thinking about it for like days afterwards, and like having dreams and waking up and like, you know what I mean? I didn't feel like that, but it still was a very good movie.
Team.
Question. Did you guys see it in IMAX?
Well, we go to the theaters where like it's hard to tell the difference between IMAX. It's so big.
I don't think so though.
That's what she said. And I don't think it would have made a big difference if we had went to the IMAX. So I don't know what you're trying to say right now.
Well, the reason that I'm saying did you see it in IMAX is because according to Ryan Coogler, that is the best way to watch this film because it was shot in 70-inch something. I don't know all the terminology. If anybody in the chat does, whatever he said, something like 70-inch something, and that supposedly had never been done before. So he's saying to get the full experience, you have to see it in IMAX. So
well, I mean, Yeah, I hear you, but Quentin Tarantino said the same thing about what was it? The great hateful eight or whatever that is, because he shot it in with like
it
this
was weird
long camera or whatever. It was like, all right, well, but let's keep it real, Ty. You saw the shit on Fire Stick. Like, was it that much bad? was it that much worse?
Listen. First of all, Quentin Tarantino is not a black man. So we are here to support all things black in America. And so Ryan Coogler, if Ryan Coogler says the best experiences in IMAX, the best experiences in IMAX. All right.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Okay. So a few things that we can talk about, because I know we've already, and let me highlight the chat right quick, because I feel like some of them going off. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. What do you say, Morale? When you went to go see it, did you go after last? Yeah, I saw it after I was pressured and I was basically told to walk the plank if I don't see the movie. You goddamn right, man. I had some business to take care of, which caused for me to not be able to see it as soon as I would have liked. Which what's the phrase? Contrary to popular belief, I've done with Spider-Man movies. So
why? Because of Tom Holland?
With the bullshit, huh?
Why? Because of Tom Holland's the only
I may have wanted to see it on a Thursday, and I may have had to work or go perform or travel, and I may have had to wait. Sometimes even I'll say, look, I'm gonna wait and see this with my kids. You know what I'm saying? And then it doesn't pan out. I was supposed to see it with my daughter, and I'm glad I didn't, because I'm one of them awkward dads. You know what I'm saying? Where like the sex scene comes on, you're like, oh. I'm like, don't look.
Yes.
23. Yep. It's just like, yeah, but I know, but don't look. This is not for kids. Kids. I'm a grown ass woman. So yeah, but a few things I took away that I feel like y'all didn't tell. Oh, what's the other comment? Okay. What? Oh, somebody asked her something. Okay. Thank you, Kim. All right. Yes. Oh, we got somebody else it wasn't that dope column.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't that dope. I just said it didn't give me.
She just wasn't moved when she left. She didn't feel the vibrations that she did when she went and saw Black Panther. It wasn't the same feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Is that the standard? Like, you have to leave with a burning sensation in your soul?
I thought with the way everyone was going on about it. That I thought I was going to leave.
The hype did get. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! What an amazing piece! I can't stop thinking about.
I got that feeling.
There are definitely things to talk about and they're interesting about it, but
yeah, we have to talk about the fact that y'all ain't. All right, can we go ahead and do a spoiler? All right, and by the way, I gotta come up with a better graphic. I gotta come up. Y'all already talked about it last week, so I gotta come up.
It's been 2 weeks.
I know it's a little. My bad. Hey, don't come here and laugh. Yeah, go, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just come here and laugh it up. I wear a hard tail on this shit. Yes. And I did see it. We did speak about it. I did get a chance to see it. And here's what I took away from it that y'all didn't tell me about. Why y'all ain't want to tell me about the river dance, bro? That was one of the dopest parts of the movie. Are you doing all the little river dance shit, bro? Everybody river dancing and shit. That shit was funny. You so lucky I didn't have time to download the music for it, because that shit had me dying laughing. Nigga was out there. He was doing the river dance shit. I was like, yes, that's what I need in my life. River dancing. Like, I didn't know I needed it. So I was like, yes. And that was dope. I was a little upset because you know how much I try to avoid spoilers. So one of the reasons I had to run out and rush this one to run with me to see the movie was because I could not avoid the spoilers anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go to Instagram, then people are you scroll down and you'll see, why did the vampire at the end? Or how come just lived? And so, whoa, slow down, baby. Let me go see this shit. And one of the spoilers came from our own Instagram story. So I was like, I'm gonna watch my own story and get spoiled. And that spoil was the one that spoke about the ethnicity, the ethnicity of Haley, what's the name's character, which I thought was hella dope. So I liked that. I liked the notion of vampires being a cult and not just a bunch of people that are trying to take over the world. Like, they was literally like, oh man, So, man, it's all about us and love and unity, man. You know what I mean, man? It's just, just want to be unified, man, with eternal life and stuff, man. You just want to, like, eat people and just live forever, man. Like, it's just a cool thing with all of us, And I was like, yo, I like that angle. All right, so let me ask y'all the part that I think some folks are saying but are getting criticized for. Mm-hmm. Do you think that some people are justified in saying that it did start a little slow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it did start slow.
Yeah, because we had to get backstory on Sammy and then to get him to his cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. So I mean, it did start a little slow.
You thought it was a little slow?
Yeah, but it was great. It needed to be that slow, in my opinion.
Yeah, the storytelling was good.
The last part, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I mean, it was definitely a lot of character building, which is good. And I saw one post that said, yeah, you have to do it like that, because if you don't, then you won't have any feelings for the characters when things happen to them. So I understand that part. I thought some of the stuff that was masterful was the inclusion of an image that I had yet to really put into my mind. Ty, kind of lingers. What?
Because there was a trope in this. Regarding if you realize
the button. Talking about the button.
There was a trope in like pleasing women in this and making sure that they're satisfied. Don't you remember?
What the fuck?
Hey, yo, I love how Kim gave you the pat on the back when she said that. She was like, not a problem that you have, babe. But I love the fact that they was talking about this on camera.
Think about it. That whole scene regarding him. What's the name of the player, the guitar player, the banjo?
Sammy. Yeah.
Yes, there had to be a reason. I think every scene had a reason for it, and I think him being in there with that woman and talking, she was like, I need to freshen up. He's like, I just want to, do that for you. I'm just saying.
Kim did perk up. She did perk up a little bit in that scene. She was like, She's like, I got the dirt of the day on me. It's stank. Like, oh, beautiful. I want to taste it. She's like,
no, I just thought it was so interesting because it seemed a little out of place. I'm wondering why he placed that there to showcase.
There was a lot of male kind of oral.
Well, I mean, isn't this kind of a coming of age story? Like, really, if you think about it, like, because Sammy grew up in the church. Sammy has always been the good kid, and they showed the duality from him being the church choir, all in one, and also knowing the scripture. Like when his dad asked him to read scripture, at one point he just walks away from the book, like, I got this, Dad. This is what I do. But now let me go do the other thing that I do. And it was dirty cookie. Yo, but not exactly.
Man, I've been walking all day. I ain't been washing up. I ain't washed up.
Yo,
let's go to the bathroom right quick, bro. Let's go to the bathroom right quick.
No. That's not what he wanted. That's not what he wanted. He was like, listen,
the flavor of the day.
No, listen, he wanted to know, at good or bad, what he was getting himself into. So he was like, you know what? Let's get into it. You see what I'm saying? Because she's like, no, I haven't. He's like, it's okay, baby. I want you in your rawest. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want you in your most natural. That was a moment.
Is that how
it was a moment? It was a fucking moment for us women. That was a moment. That was like, okay, shit. Let's
put me as I am.
Exactly. Listen, okay. That was a touching moment because us, we always got to be all like, beautiful and out here and smelling good and all the things for y'all men and shit. He's like, no, woman, I want you dripping, all of it.
Apparently, that wasn't a thing in the 1930s. They was like, come in,
it wasn't a thing in the 1980s.
Look. It was like, yo, I've been working all day long. He was like, yeah, just how I like it, baby, all day long. I want that all day sweat on you. But it was like, look, because Smoke did the same thing. Smoke pulled up in that hot ass cabin with no AC. She had been in there all day putting potions together and working with the community. And he walked in. He said, I miss you, right? And she was like, well, you know what you can do if you miss me. I mean, look, from the time Sammy comes on screen until he gets down with Stat and Smoke, they're talking about how old he was when the last time they seen him. He was just a little kid, and you still a kid, and you know what I mean. Like, and when he meets Haley's what was her Mary? When he meets Mary, she's like, what you doing, boy? Or who are you, boy? Or something like that.
Yeah.
A little bit when she did that, but I get it. But like everybody, what's his name? Slim. When Slim met him, boy, what you know about the blues? You ain't old enough to know enough. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's talking about this young man like he's still a kid. This is him coming out of that. Like he probably was a virgin. That probably was his first moment. His cousins is like looking at him like you on the cusp of being a man. If you ever get with a woman, this is something you need to do. This is something. Yo, you ever lick ice cream? Well, you know, when you lick the ice cream, you make sure you take your time with it because you don't want it to all go. You know, it was this. That's something your uncle would do. And these were, even though these were his cousins, this was like uncle time, right? Like, yo, look, young buck. You know, there's gonna be some women there's gonna be some women at this party, right? And you know, you might be dancing with one, and things get hot and heated. Well, there's a little thing you need to know when it comes that time. There's this button. And if you press it just right, then boy, you'll take it to the promised land. You know what I'm saying? And that was what it was, man. And I loved it. I loved that whole dialogue between him and Stat when it came to that.
I want to shout out my homegirl Mimi Simpson, who has a joke who says every woman is crazy. Every woman is crazy by definition, but every woman also has a button that will make her not crazy. The only problem is that button is 8 inches deep.
J-line. Anyway.
Shout out to Mimi Simpson. Yo, I still rock with you, homie. I hope the baby's doing well. I saw another question. Somebody asked, okay, Morale says finish the review. I'll get to that. And then let's ask Kim if she thought the guitar bringing vampires was corny, because you did. That's a good question. What'd you think about the vampires being like awoken or whatever by the whole guitar bit?
I'm fine with that. If I have to suspend belief for a lot of these things, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I like that. Really. What's up, Yazzie?
I was gonna say before we move on about the same thing. Also, remember she was a married woman at that time. The woman that he was.
Oh yeah, cheating asshole.
You see,
Pearline. Talking about Pearline?
Yes, Miss Pearline was a married woman at that time. So you have to also understand too, with Sammy being the young buck, he had some things to prove to Miss Pearline to make sure that, you know, she understood that, like, you may have the man at home, but this man right here gonna take it home. You know what I'm saying? So, like, had to handle that business. You see what I mean?
I'm thinking about that poor soldier off at war that think his woman at home being faithful.
I mean, was it like that?
I mean, did she say he was off at wartime?
I don't remember her saying he was that. I think he was like, do you got a husband or with your husband? She was like, he'll be fine. Like, I don't think like these husbands back then, I was really questioning that too. I was like, no husband showed up the next morning at the spot. Like, where's my wife? Like my wife didn't come home last night. You know what I'm saying? All night long. You know, like, and nobody came looking for them. Nobody. You know, nobody pulled up later and was like, yeah, what, you know. And I was just kind of curious what was going on in the relationships back then, where your wife just leaves at night and doesn't come home and you're okay with it. Like, I
could swear that she said her man was at war, was in the military and was away for war, but I mean, I can't confirm because I've only seen it once. I think Ty, you saw it a couple times. Bit off more. Yes, Bill Chill. That is a quote that was in there. So, man, thanks for bringing that up. What's up, baby?
I want to know their reviews. Like, what they thought.
Oh, they gave them last week, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? I didn't listen. I mean, I did. I listened. I couldn't because I was gonna spoil it. You know what I'm saying?
Basically, he was muted. I had to make sure that he knew when we were done with stuff. He was in the
she had to hit me in the chat like, "Yo, all right, we done." I didn't want to get it spoiled, so we'll have to go back and watch that. But let me tell you a few things that stood out to me that I don't know if I necessarily have seen people speaking on. Good morning, Serenity. Always good to see you. It's something that's fascinating for whatever reason, guys, and I feel like really ignorant having this be the case. But I never really truly envisioned the intersectionality of slave work and freemen all within the same scope. So it was significant to me when I forget what's the character Delroy Window was playing. Delroy Slim. When they drove through the chain gang, and he was like, "Hold your head." You know what I'm saying? The fact that they drove through the cotton fields and were freemen amongst slaves. I mean, they went and got old boy from the slave. He was like, "Hey, this is my wife." They was picking cotton.
They were working. Yeah, they were
drove up to them. You know what I mean? And I was like, for some reason, my dumb, ignorant ass was sitting there thinking, like, in the period of slavery, we were slaves, and that was it. You know, yeah, there were a few of us that were successful, but they were outliers. And this movie put me on to the notion that, yes, there were freemen integrated with the slaves, and they communicated. You know what I'm saying? And how difficult can that be to say what's up to your homeboy who drives away for free, but you can't because you ain't got your papers? You know what I'm saying?
I think those people were in jail. I don't think they were like, I think.
Well, no, I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about the chain gang. I'm talking about old boy that was in 8 Mile. The dude, the big tall dude who had his wife with him. Remember?
No, I think they were free though. I think they were just working for, you see what I'm saying? Like because they weren't.
They weren't free. No. If you're talking about what was the big dude's name and his wife when they were picking cotton, they were free. But what Vince is talking about is the actual chain gang. Yeah, oh well, no. They were what was Big Man's name? What was Big Man's name? Anybody remember? It started with
didn't they say that?
Cornbread. So yeah, Cornbread and his wife were sharecroppers. They were sharecroppers. They did because remember, Cornbread just hopped in the whip. If they weren't free, he wasn't hopping in no whip.
They were sharecroppers.
But the chain gang was the chain gang. They had a guy on a horse with a shotgun who let off that shot after Slim said that. But this movie, one thing about this movie, right, is it did such a good job of selling that illusion of freedom. Because at one point, when the dude came up and said, "This ain't no what do you say? This ain't no juke joint. This is a killing floor." What and then you see the next morning that the Klan was coming to literally kill them and take back what they sold them to. So yeah, you can look good and pull up in your car for a day or so, but that shit ain't nothing sustainable here in the dirty South. Like there was this even down to when people were dying and stuff like that, talking about they free now and everything like that. There was an illusion of freedom when you see the blacks mingling with the whites and all of that in this and still what is much a segregated city and town. But as soon as you come up and you start trying to elevate yourself to the same standard as the whites by owning something or doing something like that they weren't agree with, then you would get killed. And that's what they showed at the end of the movie. Like they came to kill him. It just didn't work out the way that it was.
Yo, shout out to Morale, bro. You real feisty this morning, man. What's going on? He's like, man, shut up, man. Let the fight. Let this thing. All right. Well, with regard to our review, I guess. So I loved the period piece aspect of it. I loved the special effects that won't get any attention because they're so common now. The very first thing that Smoke does is pass a cigarette to his twin. And not none one of them niggas was really there. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that he passed a cigarette to himself was phenomenal. And the smoke, it was seamless. Like it really felt like he had a twin. Like, you know damn well MBJ ain't got no goddamn twin. So for him to just, the very first thing they show him and he just like that, I was like, okay, I'm on board. And then I like the fact that they had the vampires have to ask to be invited in as a part.
I did like that.
That was so fucking brilliant. Like the fact that they figured it out and was like, why you can't bring your big ass in here? You've been in here all day. Like you've been walking in and out. All of a sudden, man, come on, that ain't polite. You know what I'm saying? I loved that. And again, I told you I love the cultish aspect of them having to finally to like be, oh, we want to be loved, man. It's just we just want to make you live forever. I loved all of that. You know what I'm saying? There's another thing that I don't know if y'all talked about this last week, but one of the brilliance things that Ryan Coogler did in this was there was a moment in which he kind of froze and integrated time periods. It was when he first started using the guitar, right? Yeah. He starts using the guitar, and then next thing you know, you see a dude doing a hip hop dance at the same time that you see them doing the old dance. Then you see a dude doing like jazz and blues. And essentially what I took away from that was Ryan Coogler is communicating to us the historical elements of the blues and the roots of which they seek and how they end up transferring to the future. And that was a moment, a scene that set the movie aside from other directors and writers who would have made it, because it would not have been that important for them to convey that message. Yeah. And it's also one of those things where, like, when you watch it, if you're not of a mindset that wants to read into the message what's being conveyed to you, you'll miss it. Like, I can see somebody being like, what the fuck? Why the fuck is there a hip-hop dude there? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Use that noggin. There's a message being conveyed here. So I love that. There was a lot of other things that was included in this as well. Like the whole inclusion of Haley's character as a mixed breed. Remember when they was like, nah, you can't come in. And she's like, oh, I can't come in. Maria, that's you? Oh, they lived amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? She said my dad was half black and she looks like that. She lives in that world, but she wants to be in this other world. And I ain't gonna lie, that was kind of interesting. But let me fast forward to the end. Love the river dancing. I was gonna, before Kim decided to come on, I actually planned to set up my camera outside and do the river dance. I was gonna do the river dance. I was like, hey, bro, that's my favorite part of the movie. Don't say it. But she was like, don't please don't. So yeah, but then can we, since y'all have already talked about everything, can we go ahead and skip to the end and what it means? All right. So let's talk about the fact that, all right, fast forward, everybody. We've already seen everything happen. They made it seem like Michael B. Jordan, as I believe Stack, because Stack was the one with the Kango, right? Not the one with the fedora.
Stack was Mary's. Stack was Mary's dude.
Yeah.
Smoke was there Ellie? Was that her name? Ellie?
I can't remember what her name was.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, we kind of got it led to believe that Stack was alive and Smoke went down with the sunlight. And then they held us until we flash forward, and then we see a young Michael B. Jordan still in the 1900s. 1990s.
Yeah, he had the Gumby. He had the Gumby.
You
can tell that was in the 90s, yo. That was definitely the 90s.
When it comes to some similar, he had the Coogee down to the socks.
He had the rope chain.
The rope chain up to that little part in the side. I was like, ah! Yeah. And so my mind immediately went to sequel. Did you all think that?
Maybe.
Did you all think sequel?
Immediately, when I saw it, yes.
Yes. I immediately thought sequel. Can they do a sequel? I mean, can we have a Sinners Part 2 set in the 90s? is that the intent? Was Ryan Coogler opened up a new franchise? Has he literally popped off to the point where he can do whatever the fuck he wants and will follow?
I think that a prequel would be maybe better than a sequel because there was a lot of like the main vampire. Where did he even come from? How did he? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of questions with that there. You know what I'm saying? And then, I don't know. I feel like obviously we got enough story on Sammy, but like, how did Stack and Smoke? You see what I'm saying? Like, build their empire. That's another. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that I'm really interested about because they left to go to Chicago and now they're back. What happened in Chicago? You know what I'm saying? How did they, you know, so there's a lot of things, you know, that were mentioned that weren't played upon. And like, we could always go back and, you know, like use that as either a prequel. The sequel though, I mean, I don't know if there's enough, you see what I'm saying? Cause like, unless there was like a vampire we didn't kill because they weren't there specifically that knew that other dude that was river dancing, you know what I'm saying? Like how are they need to be connected in order for that to be avenged. You see what I'm saying? So there's not really much of a connection for a sequel, but the prequel though, I think definitely we're on to something.
Yo, oh, you agree?
I absolutely agree, and I actually think that even when the Native Americans, I don't know if they're Apache, I don't know what kind of yes, someone mentioned in a comment too. It would be so cool to just see how they even became vampire hunters, you know, in that time.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of movies made Native Americans in general, you know, so that would be great.
I didn't even think about that.
I forgot all about it.
One time for Harmony, I'm gonna start that comment. Good shot, yo. One time for not, yo. Come through, Harmony, with the content. Al, I see you. Okay, yo. And you know what else would work? I would watch a show. I don't think Coogler's gonna do a show. I don't think he does shows. And to his credit, he's brought magic back to the movies because movies, frankly, we kind of like, you know, how many episodes in the movie?
Especially original one.
Yeah, especially an original one that you know, because all you see in the comments, oh, make your own movies, make your original characters. Okay, and we'll take 100% of that Rotten Tomatoes for the first few days as well. But wouldn't you be interested to watch a series that illustrates what Smoke and Stack was doing in Chicago? Yeah. Their interactions with Capone, Lucky Luciano, and the Italians and Irish back in that era of the Bugsy Siegels. Wouldn't it be dope to see that? And then they could sprinkle a little bit of vampirism in that bitch too. But I just don't think that Coogler is a series guy. He just feels like a movie guy, and I'm not mad at that. But damn, I would love to see him oversee.
Isn't he about to do the X-Files series?
Yeah, he is. He is.
I mean, so this idea that he's not a series guy, he is about to do that. And I'm with you. I would 100% love to see a prequel that has what they were doing in Chicago, because let's remember, when they came back from Chicago, they came back with a truck full of liquor. So either they stole that or they bought it, more on the likelihood that they stole it. And then they also came back with a bag full of money, which they were able to come and buy the club with. So somehow, some way, Stack and Smoke got up out of Chicago with a lot more than what they came with. So that story would probably be really dope to see exactly how they got out of Chicago.
Yeah, I would love to see them build on that storyline. Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Do you think that it's possible that the twin idea was an afterthought, and they initially, when writing this movie, were thinking, okay, it would be Chadwick is the brother of Jonathan, or Jonathan Majors was supposed to be in it, you know, like, or do you think they really wanted him to play the twin?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Well, Coogler said, and this is out of Coogler's mouth, that the twin idea was always the plan. And he also said that Michael was always the actor that he had for playing this part. So they have.
So he was.
Yeah.
That's why I said that. But
it is true. Jonathan Majors' face does belong in the early 1900s.
Like, with that style of clothing on. Oh my gosh!
You see him like, let me in, Stack. Man, why you can't just come in? Hey, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's me, Stack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see Jonathan Majors like coming through with
I can see him attacking somebody and eating them too, and then putting his face up like, you know what I'm saying? Like blood dripping, like him looking at you all crazy as fucking shit. And you're like, oh my God, don't do that to me. That like when they were attacking the Romans, and it was.
All right, cool. A little bit more about this, and then we'll go ahead and move on, and I'll relinquish this one to the wild. I know you, she's sitting there freezing. You should see it. like all the fans are pointing. You know, I was sweating as thinking got there, so I'm sitting there. I got like all the fans on me.
Hey, only Morale had a question. Only had him, and to answer that question, it seems as though no, he didn't know, because remember when the guy showed up at the cabin for the woman and the man, they had no idea about what the Indians were talking about. Matter of fact, if you remember correctly, they didn't even necessarily know that they were Indians, because he said, "Ain't no Indians around here. You sure it wasn't a fair-skinned nigger?"
Yeah.
Like that. So they didn't even have no dealings with the Indians. But I did notice that she didn't shoot the Indian off the top. So even the Indians were, they were acceptable in that I guess in that sense, because this was a clan hut. Like that, like dude had a clan hood in the crib. So that leads me to believe that maybe the old man that lived in that area didn't necessarily know about vampires. Nobody really knew about vampires. The only person that really knew about vampires and the fact that they could even exist was Smoke's girl. Smoke's girl is the one who was like, he's dead. Like, yo, there's things that out here that you don't know. Like, she's the only one, and that's because she was dealing with all of the mystic arts anyway, with the hoodoo and whatever else. So
yeah, and also with the Native Americans coming around. Well, first of all, let me shout out this funny ass comment.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say this nigga look like Prohibition. Come on, man. Like, yo, already let me send you the link. I already said Fuego. Yo, what time? But yeah, so I haven't really. Now, I think y'all are going to answer this question one way, but I would be amiss if I didn't ask. Is Stack really dead?
Is Stack dead? No, Smoke is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, Smoke. You mean Smoke, right?
The one that had the Tommy gun in the end. When he laid and he reached over.
That's Smoke. That's Smoke.
Did we actually see him actually die?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, he burned up with all the vampires.
It's not even the fact that he burned up. The only way he was going to see his wife again and his son again is if he died. And so, like, that whole thing, that whole scene of her showing up holding the baby is the testament to him dying. And so then he grabs the baby. He's like, Papa's here. Papa's here now. So that was him dying. He died. That gunshot wound to the gut. Yeah, back then, if you don't have a doctor on thing, you dying from that. A gunshot is killing you.
I mean, the only reason I was saying that is because, I didn't know, because I didn't see, how they'll show the body with the blood around it to signify that they're actually dead. I didn't see that. There was a little bit of a Cold North-esque type of explosion. I didn't see what happened. And there's room for one to come in, rescue, bite, put him, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, there wasn't a definitive, death where there's no way you can come back from it. Huh?
It was during daylight, so how would that happen?
There's another point there.
Right. I didn't burst the bubble, but I mean, every vampire that was literally the whole fucking town that was there that night, except for the core, there was like 6 or 7 that was left over, you know what I'm saying, hiding and shit, and then it got down number by number until it was, just one left. I'm just saying everyone died because they became a vampire, or they died by the vampires, or they, the sun came and killed them. So how, if in the instance, I mean, I don't know how a vampire would walk amongst and just come and bite him. You know, they'd have to be covered and still get, you know what I'm saying, like burned and shit. And then you'd have to recover his body. You see what I'm saying? To take it into the sun because that shit happens quick as we saw. I mean, it was like minutes, and this motherfucker was like, "Hey y'all, what's going on? Let me out. What y'all doing?"
Well, I'm saying, like, I'm thinking there was some Marvel-esque type of occurrences in this. All right, the post-credit scene. All right, also the passing of Stack, Smoke, whichever one, kind of gives me ancestral plane vibes, right? With Black Panther visiting the ancestral plane, being reunited with, you know, so on and so forth. So it wouldn't be.
That scene was so funny to me because he was there and he was just like looking at his daughter and, you know, his girl, and then the stupid ass white man was on the floor, had to say something, and he had to return back and like shoot the shit out of him into the clip and to go back into the ancestral. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to shoot the shit out of him. Yeah, it's just
that is true.
You're Jody, baby. I'm trying to have a conversation with my family, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So that's like he wasn't fully dead then. You see what I'm saying? Like he was slipping. He was slipping in the ancestral plane. That's when he saw her. And then of course, you know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing that out there. You know, someone gotta have to say something stupid, and he gotta go back into reality and be like, I ain't dead yet. Let me fuck up this motherfucker before I go out. He took
and look, it was funny when she said, and put out that cigarette. You don't want no smoke in the you don't want no smoke on the spirit baby. On my spirit baby. The spirit baby don't have no lungs, baby. The spirit baby dead. You dead and the baby is dead. The baby do not smell the smoke, baby. Like she like, look, put that cigarette out. You don't want to get the baby. You don't want the baby to call.
Oh my God!
Alive. Okay, smoke is harmful. Secondhand smoke can kill. She was thinking about her child. She wasn't thinking about nothing.
Dead.
Okay, it don't matter. She's somewhat alive in the planes. Okay, she don't want to die a second time. Damn.
Oh yeah. I don't want my dead baby to catch emphysema in the afterlife. I don't know if that really is a thing. You know what I'm saying? But it happened. And that shit was like, do you think babies get that hungry? Like she was, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Like,
that is another thing. Yeah. That felt like they just wanted to show some titty. That felt like they just wanted to show some titty in that moment. I was like, now you know that baby don't need no milk now. Come on now. That baby don't drink no milk.
Stop. Baby do drink milk, bro. Whatever. All the milk. Bullshit, bro. Because that was it was definitely milk.
It's the afterlife. They're still alive.
I do want to say, I do have to say that one thing we have got to do is we've got to give Wimmy her flowers.
Yeah.
This
100.
young lady has infiltrated the world of Black nerds through so many different projects. We know her from Loki, right?
Yes,
we know her from
Lovecraft
Country, right? There were a couple other shows I can't recall exactly right now, but she has been pulling up, and I have to say, you know, we've all had our little issues with Europeans and Americans and them come and take a job, but I gotta say, Wunmi is one of the exceptions because there was a couple times where I did her slip up a little bit.
It's not easy to do a double.
Yeah,
she was from New Orleans, or was she from
I think she was supposed to be from from Louisiana or some shit, right? And like that's why she knew about all the spirits and shit. So yeah, I applaud her for being able to put that twang on. And boy, you don't know what you really want to do around him. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on through, Wunmi. You know what I'm saying? I see you, and Haley for that matter too. But for Wunmi, it's seamless. It's seamless. So I just want to big her up because I actually want to do like a little. At some point, I might do like a little, little presentation where I can like give her the flowers I believe that she deserves, because I feel like she's being underappreciated right now because she's not getting the lead roles, right? But she is getting the roles. Let's not forget she was a white woman in the Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Now you reminded me of it. Yeah. That was definitely interesting.
That's right. Harmony.
Yes.